แบบเห็นนะเห็นเลย Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, correct.
Yes, Priyanka.
Thank you. There was a net connectivity issue here. That was the reason why we had a delay. We'll now invite our guest. ఓనొకటే.
വീഡിയോ ആണല്ലേ? ലാൻഡിങ് വീഡിയോ ആണ്. Sorry about the delay because of some technical hitch. So let's begin with the proceedings of the English Association Inauguration. Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Ramya K, Assistant Professor of English, St. Joseph's College, Devagiri, Calicut. Dr. Sister Gisella, Principal, Mercy College. Ms. Priyanka MC, Coordinator, English Association Activities, colleagues, and my dear students. Good morning to all. It gives me immense pleasure addressing you on the happy occasion of the inauguration of the English Association activities for the year 2020-21. We usually have the association inauguration in the second term, but because of the delay in the admission procedure of first year degree and first PG batches, we had to push it to the third term this year. Every year, the association conducts seminars, workshops, guest talks, and competitions for the students of the department. This year, the department hosted Kerala Piravi celebrations, and a webinar on classical theatre of Kerala was conducted as part of the celebrations. The next major event taken up by the English Association was a skill development initiative, a national webinar mass media, which some of you must have attended. We also host book fairs every year. English Association Day is also celebrated every year. So while the Research Center for Comparative Studies attached to the department focuses on research-oriented activities and usually target the research community, English Association activities cater to the aptitudes and tastes of all our students. So along with today's inaugural function, we had announced a book review competition for the students, for the UG students, and we'll be announcing the results after the inaugural address. Today we have with us Dr. Ramya K, Assistant Professor of English, St. Joseph's College, Devagiri, Calicut, who kindly consented to inaugurate the English Association activities for the academic year 2020-21. Dr. Ramya has 6 years of teaching service and has an impressive academic profile. She has numerous research publications in esteemed journals and has presented papers in several conferences and seminars. Dr. Ramya's doctoral thesis was on The Politics of Alterity and Displacement in the Fiction of J.M. Coetzee. Today, Dr. Ramya will give a talk on eco-criticism titled From Green to Brown to Blue, Shifting Paradigms of Eco-Criticism. On behalf of the faculty and the students of the department, I accord a warm welcome to you, Dr. Ramya. Let me
Thank you,
also
ma'am.
welcome our dear principal, Dr. Sister Gisela, who has always been a source of support and inspiration to faculty and students alike. Hearty welcome, sister. Let me also welcome my colleagues and the students of the department to this event. Thank you. Now, let me call upon Dr. Ramya K. to formally inaugurate the English Association activities for the academic year and address the student community. Thank you. Over to you, Ramya.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I intend to start with the usual cliched question on this virtual interface. I hope I'm audible enough. Yes? Hello? Hello, am I audible? Yes, okay. So it is your association inauguration as such for the year 2020-21. So hope it is
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, hello?
Ma'am, the screen തിരിഞ്ഞായിരിക്കുന്നേ.
Okay,
നേരെ
fine.
പിടിക്കൂ.
Okay, fine. It's very difficult. I'm not that tech savvy, so you have to be, you
Yes.
have to, okay, fine?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Now it's fine.
So I'm not that tech savvy, so overlook all these glitches, okay? So, all right, so it's association inauguration, better late than never probably. So it's the fag end of this academic year 2021. So I take this opportunity to place on record my heartfelt gratitude to all the members of the faculty, members on the faculty of Department of English, Mercy College, Palakkad. It gives me added pleasure to mention Priyanka's name because she was a student here a few years back. So it's really a very happy occasion to join you on this virtual interface. Now, since it is pandemic times, invariably the first question will be, hope all are, kind of statement, hope all are healthy, your dear ones, near ones, all are healthy and safe. Okay, and it is tough times now, and probably it is tough times ahead. And we, as a community, human community in general, have witnessed within a short span as such, two riotous occasions probably. One, both in two large nations, democratic nations as such. One, at the capital a few days back in the United States, and the other here in our own nation, India, yesterday on our Republic Day as such, how people siege Red Fort. So the farmers strike as such, and what are the repercussions and consequences. And you have all the media as such flooded with all these related info or pieces of information as regards all these human activities. And we are here with a discourse which rather tries to or has always attempted to dismantle the particular binary on which our society works, mainly that of human and the non-human. That is human and the non-human, the binary on which this particular discourse works, that is eco-criticism. So on this occasion, I would like to mention the title once again. The title, I have titled this talk or this presentation as From Green to Brown to Blue, Shifting Paradigms of Eco-Criticism. Now, the colors, probably you know what it connotes. All these colors connote green, nature, greenery all around, brown with respect to mud, especially brown humanities is referred to. Blue, obviously the blue planet, that is the water bodies as such. Now, it doesn't, suggest any kind of breakup with the discourse that we've already had in the eco-critical paradigm as such since its inception, or any kind of transition. It doesn't suggest anything of that sort because all these overlap in one way or the other. So, which is just to suggest to you what are the diverse ways in which this theoretical schema or theoretical framework, which was initially anti-theoretical at one point of time, how it has suddenly changed, acquired theoretical dimensions, and it has diversified into various branches. So since its inception till this particular day, probably a time when elemental eco-criticism is in vogue or is catching up with desert humanities and all, it is imperative that we discourse much about it, or we hold discussions as regards the various readings that have come under this particular theoretical framework. So on that note, I think I'll begin my lecture. In the sense, it is mainly in the lecture mode. So for the time being, I think I'll switch over to the slides. Very few slides I've created, taking cue from my own experience, because especially when the teachers or the resource persons refer to particular works, particular authors and all, I have missed out quite a number of times, missed out on that information. So only those slides you will get here, and one or two poems as such. Mainly it would be in the lecture mode. So I hope you are by now used to this virtual interface, the slides and the voiceover as such. So probably we'll go by that. So it is titled From Green to Brown to Blue, Shifting Paradigms of Eco-Criticism. So I'll just switch over to the slides since you've already got a glimpse of me, and then we'll proceed with the lecture. Okay. So if there are any glitches, please overlook that. And if at all there is any issue regarding range or connectivity, that I'm not audible, if I'm not audible enough, please feel free to interrupt and then raise your hand, or then send a message in the chat box, or interrupt as such in the sense saying that it is rather not audible. Okay, so on that note, just a few seconds, I'll just present my slides as such. All right, is that visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, fine. So I think we'll proceed with the lecture. Now, eco-criticism, the Bible of eco-criticism as such, it is the 1992 Eco-Criticism Reader, edited by Cheryl Glotfelty and co-editor Harold Fromm. So we'll begin with one quote from that. It suggests, or what the general quotation that people go by is, human literature or eco-criticism is all about the interconnectedness between literature or human world and the physical environment, how it gets represented in literature. So it says, the work again says, human culture is connected to the physical world. It gets affected by it, and it also affects it. So it's a kind of a mutual, symbiotic kind of a relationship or interconnectedness, which is basically the premise of eco-criticism as a theoretical framework and eco-critical interventions when it comes to the praxis level. Now, this world, I'll show you one example which I came up, or the two articles or news items which I came across recently. One is from The Guardian newspaper, the other is from bbcnews.com. Two news articles which suggest that issue of global warming, the climate change. And on seeing these two articles or these two particular news reports, an eco-critic or a person who is so familiar with this particular theoretical schema will definitely remember what Jonathan Bate has done as part of his critical research and got published it as one of the major works in eco-criticism, that is The Romantic Ecology. It was published in the year 1991. Now, in that, he subjects to a kind of critical evaluation or analysis, especially the works of the Romantic poets. Mainly, he focuses on Keats's poetry, Wordsworth and all. With reference to this, it is Keats's poetry that we need to stress or focus on. especially 1817, the sonnet that he wrote in the year 1817. It is titled, I Stood Tiptoe on a Silent Hill. And that particular work, in the sense it suggests a particular year without summer, summer, because it was in the wake of that Tambora eruption that happened in the year 1815. It is volcanic eruption, Tambora volcanic eruption, which happened in the year 1815 in Indonesia. And the year didn't experience, or people didn't experience summer season at that point of time. So there is this reference to cooling air, cold airs. They've come up with the term